Well, a notorious London-based Islamic imam who was sentenced to prison after he was found to have recruited for ISIS and has reportedly been linked to over 15 terror plots is about to be released from prison early.
Okay. Anjem Choudary was convicted by a UK court back in August of 2016, so just 2 years ago. Expected to be set free next month. He served about half of his sentence and is still considered committed to his Islamist cause and a serious threat. So why is he being released into the public?
Dr. Zuhdi Jasser is the president of the American Islamic Forum for Democracy and has dedicated his entire career to reforming radical Islamists. He joins us now to weigh in. Zuhdi, your reaction to this news?
I'm horrified, Katie. I mean, this is a guy who, after 9/11, ran a group called Al-Muhajirun that celebrated 9/11. He's radicalized over 100 Muslims in Britain, including folks connected to the 7/7 bombing, the London Bridge bombing, on and on as far as what he said. Now, and also calling for war, calling for establishment of the caliphate. And specifically, I've debated him on this network, on other networks, where he has basically said Muslims like me are apostates, and that is code for that we should be killed. So here's a guy who, because of Britain's laws, they let people out at half the sentence, so he's being let out early because of their weak laws, if you will. And it's a clinic for the West to say, you know what, why haven't we declared war on these groups? Yes. Why haven't we have a formal declaration of war so that these people, I mean, in the United States, even though our speech laws are freer, where in the United Kingdom, they're actually putting to jail people like Tommy Robinson and others who are questioning Islam, questioning ideology. In the United States, we actually took Tariq Mahena, put him in jail for 17 years, and the notorious New York Times said, oh, he was put in jail inappropriately for thought crimes. Well, we have a smarter system that says, you know what, this guy was declaring war on the U.S. He needed to stay behind bars for at least 2 decades.
So the guy's pro-ISIS. He's sending people to go fight with ISIS and conduct terror attacks. He gets 6 years. He serves half of it. What does it tell you about how fundamentally unserious our counter-Islamist policies are in the West and specifically in the UK?
There are no counter-Islamists. They're looking at it like a crime. They're looking at it as if he did very little, and it's surrender, basically. And it's a lack of insight, Pete, into exactly what it is we're fighting, a global ideology that includes the radicalization by governments like Iran, Assad, Syria, ISIS. I mean, ISIS might be on the verge of decimation, but globally, jihad is stronger than it's ever been. Why? Because the West, the UK, Canada, all of these weaker governments have no strategy. We have no approach for advancing Western values. And what we're doing is actually telling folks like Choudary he can come out, get on the British welfare dole, do his welfare jihad, make money, and then go back to declaring the caliphate. Actually, just so you know, when he was in prison, they were really worried about how much he was going to radicalize Muslims in prison, and yet did nothing about it.
He is still deemed a serious danger to the community, to the outside community. And the bottom line here is that lives are at risk. So, Dr. Zuhdi Jasser, we really appreciate you coming in to talk about this.
Doctor, thank you very much. It is. I mean, as the West commits